Buddy, an advertising executive, is delayed by a snowstorm for a return flight to Los Angeles on the same airline he has just signed as a major client. When his flight resumes, boarding, Buddy hands over his ticket to Greg so he can return home to his wife and sons. Buddy convinces his friend and airline employee Janice to let Greg fly in his place while spending the night with fellow stranded passenger Mimi. He sees the plane crash on television. He has Janice check into the computer system to change his name to Greg's on the passenger manifest. Greg's wife, Abby, is awakened by the news of the crash and is torn between hope and despair for several hours, clinging to the hope that Greg will still arrive on the later flight on which he was originally booked until his death is confirmed. When Buddy returns to Los Angeles, the airline orders him to run a series of ads to mitigate the tragic consequences of the crash, which win a Clio Award. Buddy, plagued by guilt, makes a drunken scene at the awards shop. W joins Alcoholics Anonymous as part of the recovery process to make up for past misdeeds. Buddy seeks out Abby, an emerging realtor, and gives her a tip on a commercial office building that Jim, Buddy's partner and boss, has bid on. In exchange, Abby treats Buddy to a night at Dodger Stadium there. Relationship develops despite Buddy refusing to tell her that he is indirectly responsible for Greg's death. When the airline settles with Greg's estate, Abby plans to fly her boys to Palm Springs to overcome their fear of flying, but he asks to accompany them and quickly forms a strong bond with the two boys on the way back. Buddy says he has a secret that he will reveal the next day. When Mimi arrives with a video of Greg and Buddy drinking in the airport bar, everything falls apart. Buddy's deception has devastated Abby, and she demands that he leave her home and her life, but also that he say goodbye to the boys. Buddy returns the next day and speaks with Scott, who is concerned that his father died. While driving home from a Boy Scouts Christmas trip, Abby feels the same way about pressuring Greg to return home on that fateful flight. The families of the victims sue the airline for damages, and Janice's role is revealed when Buddy is called to testify as Abby watches on television. Buddy explains that he gave Greg his ticket, but did not accept Greg's. In exchange, the airline security procedures were jeopardized as a result of Janice's coercion to change the roster, and she was fired as a result. Judge excuses Buddy, but he still feels guilty, but he resigns from his firm after compromising his client. The airline Abby stops by to tell him that his conversation with Scott was helpful to both of them. Buddy, sensing Abby is about to leave, asks her to help him in renting or selling his beachfront home. As Buddy begins to discuss his